Hey, brothers and sisters. I want to talk to you about the third Trump assassination attempt. The name was Vem Miller, 10/26/1974 birth date of Las Vegas, or the City of Sin. This is an East Coast versus West Coast ritual on October 13th, 2024, which is Tishri 11, the same day Moses descended Mount Sinai on Yom Kippur, and Jethro advised him to appoint judges, and donations were brought for the tabernacle of God in 1313 BCE, according to Chabad. Exodus 18:21. Seek out from among all the people capable men who are God-fearing, trustworthy men who refuse bribes. Set these over them as officers of thousands, officers of hundreds, officers 50s, and officers of 10s. 18:22. Let them sit as judge for the people at all times, having them bring every major case to you. But let them decide every minor case themselves. Make it easier for yourself by letting them share the burden with you. Taking Jethro's advice to heart, Moses immediately implements his ideas for delegating judicial authority to dispense justice more efficiently. The Torah.com. So Coachella is like a stagecoach, and Ella like El, meaning the God. El equals the. And the God is like El, so El Shaddai. And a stagecoach is like that pumpkin coach off of that Disney fairy tale where that had that fairy godmother turning the pumpkin into a stagecoach or whatever. I think it was Cinderella, with the midnight thing, because the midnight, is when the rapture happens and stuff like that. So a coach is like a tabernacle, like Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, which is about to happen on October 17th, 2024. Coachella had many shows like EDM, and it connects to Elvis shows, and the Tropicana in Las Vegas, which had its roof blown off. This connects to Florida, like Florida orange juice, and orange juice like Donald Duck orange juice, with Disney, with 2 hurricanes in Florida. And a lot of people don't know that Israel was founded by the Rothschilds, or the Rockefellers, the big in the club groups, the ones who own the banks. They had Israelites come in to harvest oranges when Israel was first founded, and then they had Palestinians paid to come in to Israel to also harvest the oranges, and then Israel became a state in May 14, 1948, and then they drove out all of the Palestinians, and then that's where you get all these conflicts like October 7th. And so they were the ones, the fallen angels and spirits, moving these, rich people and the people using, possessions and greed and all that stuff to make these things happen. Like the world today with Mystery Babylon, them using, the rich elite to further their plans, like Agenda 2030. And so Coachella was done on March 8th, 2024, headlining Coachella 2024 at the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California. People wear polos for golfing, and Trump loves golf, and Elvis wore suede shoes made with indigo, like Indio, California. And I recently heard that the people flying the planes up, making all those chemtrails, are called indigo sky children or something like that. So because the sky's blue like indigo, so that's where you get these things from. So it all connects, and there may be some kind of ritual with like 9/11, and then something with the Space Needle on the West Coast in Washington, and it connects to Elvis, who played in It Happened at the World's Fair, like I think it happened at the World's Fair. There was that electrician like Elon Musk, Tesla. So Tesla, he lit up the World's Fair with light bulbs like Thomas Edison, but it happened at the World's Fair, so it connects to Trump with Elon Musk and Tesla. And so Vem Miller, the perp, took a photo with the QAnon shaman named Jacob Chansley, who wore a buffalo hat with horns, pointing towards the little horn, the Antichrist. He was part of the Capitol riot, and Jacob is a name of one of God's children in the Bible, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Horns represents the horns on God's altar in his tabernacle. And Indio also means Indians, like the Native Americans' Holocaust. The Americans killed the buffalo to starve them out, and starvation connected to the Jewish Holocaust. On April 8th, 2024, the eclipse went over Buffalo, New York, and Niagara Falls. And many people don't know there's an island there called Goat Island, like I Pet Goat 2, that goat in a box. This connects to Revelation 9:11. With Abaddon, or Abaddon, like Donald Trump and his stinging locusts with Operation Warp Speed from New York, and the 9/11 disaster connected to the demonic Antichrist last Trump. So them had a fake license plate, handgun and shotgun, 2 different types of guns, twins, like Twin Towers, okay, 9/11, multiple passports and driver's licenses, a not registered SUV claiming freedom to travel without permits or tags like the Sovereign Citizen movement. He was caught at Avenue 52 and Celebration Drive in Coachella, just 1 minute before the rally was set to start before Trump arrived on Saturday. This is like 1 minute to midnight, the Rapture, like, Big Ben, it chimed 9 times and then 11 times, and then at 10:06, and 10:06, Revelation 10:06 means there shall be no more delay. And that same day, there was a couple of horses, a black horse and a white horse, that were released by the police, and the white horse hit a car and it started to bleed from its bridle. So in Revelations it says, when God's winepress of wrath happens, there will be blood up to the bridle of a horse. And so God's judgment is about to come upon the world. And in I Pet Goat 2, Big Ben, it has like a minute to midnight when it kind of comes out of the classroom. And then you have Psalms on that wall, like the guy who had his neck with the knee, George Floyd. And so like the George Floyd mural that had a lightning struck on it, that's what it connects to. So just 1 minute before the rally was set to start, them was caught, quote unquote, before Trump arrived on Saturday, according to the Riverside, like the River Jordan, County Sheriff's Office. This is all a ritual against God, with symbolic meanings connected to all other dates and times applicable, including major happenings in the Bible, and the news connected to Gematria, and all the things the enemy is trying to have done against God and his children, all with secret name meanings. So I just had a lady in my car who started talking about, oh yeah, I heard that there was a 3rd attempt to assassination, and she was kind of talking about some interesting things, and I believe it was an evil spirit, a principality, power, or the devil speaking through her, and she said that this next Thursday, the Northern Lights should be showing again around the world like they did a whiles back, and they reached as far south as Florida. This next Thursday is the first day of Sukkot, which is the same day the Aurora Borealis is supposed to show, they say, according to NASA, the lying snakes, the Feast of Tabernacles, and it may connect to the Rapture. Aurora means Aurora, Colorado, like on July 20th, 2012, and false flags. I'll leave it at that. All these people know one another, and they're all in the club. I believe this connects to I Pet Goat 2, like when Jethro said, you know, you're supposed to appoint judges, and people gathering for, you know, the Feast of Tabernacles and living in their Succoth, when the Antichrist in the boat in the river Styx has black and white fish jump into his boat. In a previous video, I connected the April 8th eclipse to the beginning of Daniel's 70th week with 1,260 days that ends on September 20th, 2027. And that may be the midpoint through the Great Tribulation. On or after that day, something big, a big disaster may happen. Please see my other videos about Thomas Matthew Crooks below in my channel. I came here to warn you, brothers and sisters. Repent.